Alright, I think I just realized that I ran out of my earlier video probably had to be chopped down. It's over the amount, so I might lose a couple stocks. So let me just Intel over in case I cut. This is the part I cut. So we're coming up to Intel. We're still holding a big position in it. We had that bad news, that fluky news that came out, and just let you know that no one's immune. Every chart pattern does have a weakness. That is like unexpected news, and then usually things come back in. If this stock truly wants higher, it truly does here. So I would watch this week for some strength and start getting at these bargain prices right here. This is excellent. This is a sale in Intel. And so move on to the next one here. Let's see. Intel MSO. We got into MSO. Martha Stewart. All right, Martha Effin Stewart. Here we go. Here's that inverted head and shoulders again. This is actually a very big one. You got a shoulder, or this could be considered a shoulder because this was kind of a false thing. But this would be a shoulder, head, shoulder. W pattern, right? W pattern, and everything that I look for. So another easy entry. Got in down here, right here on this day, right here, the 12th. I said, well, I'm getting in pre-market. The next day I got in pre-market right here, a little bit of 12, and it's been running ever since because it's an easy trade. Very simple. All right, write them down, learn them. You will make money with them. If you find one and you think that you're not sure it's one, send it to me, and I'll confirm it. We'll try to figure out a price target together. Or I'll send you my price target, and I'll write it down for myself, because if that is a true W inverted head and shoulders pattern, then I want to be in that also. So it's always good to share these things. The more people that are in it, the more times it really explodes. Alright, here we go. RFMD. We didn't get in this one, but I wanted to show you another one. You can start seeing these patterns come out. Here's a W pattern. Boom, boom, boom. W, boom, boom, boom. You see that W pattern and that break off. Sometimes you don't get a good head and shoulders formation. Sometimes it's like that's not a really good shoulder, that's the head and that's your shoulder. You usually get that, but it's hard sometimes to see because you might have some weird bars. Like you had this weird bar here. It dropped all the way down. That might have been a fluke of the day, and it kind of throws out the head and shoulder. But anyway, what you want to look for is the true W pattern, a downward trend, a sloping resistance point, and then a break through the resistance point. And you see, the bigger move in the resistance when it would break through. Actually, we come back and continue on. We didn't get into this one. There's so many stocks out there; it's sometimes hard to find them all. We did get into this one this week, I think on Friday, or Thursday or Friday, because we're starting to make a weird chart formation here. I have no idea what this is yet, but I was hoping it was going to be just a type of a W pattern here. So I figured, all right, I'm going to get in now because we're consolidating right here. And then actually, well, anyway, can't even get that one straight. Then it came out in CNBC. Someone was actually talking about it, saying how Hot Topic is due for a rebound. This is like the cheapest they've been. And they're starting to sell hip clothing and hip video games, and so this one's starting to show some support here in this area, so I'm expecting to move higher. Alright, so I expected that. What other ones? Did we get into when did we get into TiVo? Bank of America. I got into it on Friday, Thursday or Friday. I got into Bank of America pretty much because it's been consolidating out here, and we made this. Let me go. Let me see if I can go out to a 6-month chart here. And just the bank. Well, that's not Bank of America. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Oh no, you know what? That's why. BAC. Like, what the heck is that? BAK. Look like anything I know. Anyway, we kind of broke out of here. We had some momentum going into this, and. This one actually, let's see, 1 year, has some ways to go. We had a target up here, so I said, oh, we're breaking out here, we're going up. So it's a momentum play. I'm not going to overstay my welcome. Bank of America. Citibank I like. Big old C. All right, again, nice bottoming formation. Beautiful bottoming formation here. Beautiful. I'm really digging this, We got the inverted head and shoulder, head, shoulder right there. We got a downward sloping trend line, and we're just breaking out of it now. So, you know, that's what I'm really digging here. I'm really getting to like this. And if you notice something, you see when you get these, when you have this W pattern. You see this first part of the W pattern? You get the W pattern, then you can make that trend line, all right, with that W pattern. Watch this. I'm just going to show you something. So you have that trend line, and then you make your downward trend line right here, which matches right up there, and then it pulls off of that, and then it actually comes back down and makes a higher low, excuse me, and it matches up that one. Now all of a sudden, the head and shoulder, inverted head and shoulder has formed, and that shoulder line right there should be a point of like entry in this, because you already see the W. So he said, all right, if I'm going to pull back, I should pull back right. If you see any type of strength, it's a great trade to get at this point right here, because you only have a limited risk. You have this lower low, the head point. If it broke through that, this chart would be, you know, defunct, and it would, you know, all bets are off. So you have a very minimal risk here, where then you know you're going to either go up here, test this, break through, and continue higher. What a great reward that would be. So that's why I'm actually in this city group here, because I think we're heading higher. I think there's a lot of people want the CEO out of this company, and I think, you know, eventually the shareholders are going to win over, because this one won't be lagging behind all the other bank stocks. They won't go for that. All right, so let me see if I can fit one more in, and then we're going to go over our well, actually, this is kind of a course in the inverted head and shoulders and W pattern. So maybe I'll just leave this as the course. I don't think I could explain it any better than I've done in these last couple videos. Here's another one that I'm liking for this week. E-Trade Financial Corp. All right, E-Trade Financial Corporation. And I'm liking this one. Why am I liking it? Look, it was almost a perfect thing. I'm liking it because we're in a big downtrend, a very steep downtrend, right, like this. We're showing a little, so I'm like, wow, it hasn't really formed out of anything. But what is this right here? This downward tick. This was that bad news that one day it all sold out and then sold all the way back. Then it sold off and then broke through. All right, so right now, it's not the perfect formation I look for, so we're going to get into other formations later on that we go into and stuff. But what I like right here is that you had a point of support here, and it would bounce off support and actually traded on this and wanted to stay above it until finally it broke down. So now it came back up here. So now we're right under the old support line, which now is resistance. You know, because a lot of trading happens to be in this area. Hence, there's a lot of trades that people are willing to buy or get out of. So, you know, it takes a while for that supply and demand to figure itself out, and mostly the supply. You know, a lot of people will be selling to this point, thinking they're getting back break even and stuff. So there's a little, usually some people, you know, it's just a lot of turnover here, and it takes time for this supply to diminish, and then the buyers come in force and they break it through here. So right now, I'm thinking, all right, you know, what a good place to get in. This is a very cheap stock, and people are talking about how undervalued this one is. We got to bounce off of 12. You know, it seems too cheap to me. So I'm thinking, all right, it's starting to consolidate here. It's not going down anymore. I think I better start taking a position to see what it is. So I'll take a couple hundred shares, and I'll hold it and see if there's strength above this $12 line. And most likely this one's going to head up. Most likely it's going to head up because it's been a long road down, and we're bouncing off of this. We're bouncing off of this moving average here. But then again, if you look very closely, you know, you start to see, you know, maybe a W pattern here. All right, it's like a little W pattern starting there, and then to pull off the W pattern, and we're gonna pull off the W pattern, and we're gonna go up here and we'll break this downtrend. So right here, we're right at the downtrend, and I'm just taking a guess that this one's gonna head higher, even though that's not the best example of that chart formation. There is something brewing here, and you could just tell. It's related. It might be a distant cousin of the inverted head and shoulder, so it might actually have a little giddy up in it. All right, we'll be back.